Right now, you probably aren't even paying attention to what I have to say because your favorite song is stuck in your head. After I finish this speech, the first thing you'd probably do is take out your earphones and continue listening to whatever you had on before I began. And while that's totally relatable, before you do that, I want you to ask yourself, why? Why do you feel so compelled to listen to music so often, whether you're driving, working out, or doing homework? For me, it has come to the point where I can't even work on assignments without having some sort of music streaming through my head. In fact, for just about everyone here, it often seems that music is magic. It gives us more focus, energy, and inspires us to do things that we wouldn't otherwise do in a world without melodies. This magic lies in music's unique ability to relate to its audience on a level even deeper than J. Cole's lyrics. By accessing our primal instincts, communicating emotions to us, and stimulating our physiological arousal, music indeed becomes much more noteworthy in our lives than we may think. The notes and rhythms in songs such as Michael Jackson's Just Beat It are instrumental in provoking natural instincts and bringing satisfaction to its listeners. Leonard Meyer, a philosopher and musician, puts it best when he said that achieving emotion in music is all about what we expect and whether or not we can get that. An analysis by BBC on April 19th of 2013 found that emotions arise when we're unable to satisfy a desire. But when that desire is met, emotions become pleasant. It's the same as craving for food or love. At first, we might be angry or frustrated when we don't get it, but when we finally do get it, it brings some degree of satisfaction. The article goes on to reveal that music does that very thing by giving listeners a reward system to meet desires. Songs are made up of patterns that get our brains to unknowingly make predictions about what's to come. If our predictions are correct, the brain rewards itself with a surge of dopamine, which is actually the same stuff that contributes to the addiction of sex and drugs. By constantly listening to music, we get to constantly experience pleasing emotions in our brains. Furthermore, this idea of correctly predicting something can be traced back to the start of humanity as a survival tactic. For our ancestors back before the dawn of early civilization, making predictions about the environment was essential for their survival. Rustling trees could signify that a predator was near. The smell of smoke could signify fire. Of course, this wouldn't be necessarily true, however, by ignoring the logic and acting purely on instinct, events like these directly connect to our emotions through escaping death. So yes, our brains love patterns because it's literally in our nature to predict them, and music is made up of that very idea which fulfills our predictions. Now, this contends as to why we can achieve pleasurable emotions through music. However, that doesn't necessarily account for the unpleasing emotions that we can feel in sad songs like Charlie Puth's See You Again or Drake's entire collection. In this sense, music also has the ability to access not just pleasing emotions, but all of our emotions through its many nuances. An American Heart Association Journal's report from 2009 revealed that the nervous system can be synchronized with music. For example, if a song is fast-paced, our heartbeats and breathing patterns will actually work to match that beat. Additionally, music can be conveyed to us as a form of speech, which can entail all sorts of emotions. According to a Vox article published on February 4th of 2016, it's not hard to tell what someone is feeling in the way they talk. For example, higher-pitched voices generally tell our brains that the speaker is joyful, and a wavering tone can signify sadness. Similarly, we can connect with music as an exaggerated form of conversation. Higher-pitched, speedier songs can also get our brains to feel this happiness that can take place through talking with one another. So, no matter what the emotion is, music can serve as the basis for generating how you feel or act at a given moment. So how can you use Beethoven, the Beatles, Metallica, or Kendrick to an advantage going forward with your everyday lives? Music, through its many connections to us as listeners, can stimulate a physiological arousal, giving us seemingly magical abilities. In terms of exercise, music can actually enhance physical and performance. One way is through straight-up distraction. Listening to music can take your thoughts off of the pain your body may experience while working out. Another way is through synchronicity. A research conducted by the Sport Journal on October 20th of 2016 explains that when you listen to a given rhythm or tempo, your body subconsciously works to match and keep that tempo, which equates to less time spent on the inefficient slowing down and speeding up if you were to work out on your own pulse. Additionally, music can incentivize us to do productive things such as chores and homework. As I stated earlier, music accesses our body's nervous systems. The Globe and Mail reports on May 11th of 2018 that specifically music accesses our sympathetic nervous system, which prepares our bodies for action whenever we are faced with any sort of challenge, whether physical or mental. Music as a tool can inspire us to do any boring task and make it seem much more enjoyable to our brains. In covering the effect music can have on our primal instincts, our emotions, and our physiology, we now have answered the question as to why we feel so compelled to listen to music all the time. While a song might be fire to you, it's not just because of its lyrics. The artwork put into each and every song through its rhythm, tempo, pitch, and all other tiny details becomes another string attached to our personalities, leaving us in anticipation to continue listening. So when you put on your earphones a minute or so from now, understand what the music you're listening to actually means to you and how you can utilize it today to give you that magical high note.
Hey.